why do I care so much about legacy? I'm the third, and who am I to live this life and not carry the flame that was bestowed upon me from my father and my grandfather, and just be a person that is forgettable? I can't do that. Yo, what it do? What's good, YouTube? I'm boy heading to work right now, so I'm gonna throw a little video right here before I get to the office. The topic I want to talk about today is, like, why do I care about legacy so much, right? And I think that's a huge thing, because I had somebody I was talking to yesterday that was asking about, like, why do we care about relationships, or why relationships so complicated in this day and age? And in my head, I'm like, it's not complicated, and this is why. So, like, I think it ties in with my legacy talk. So, why I care about legacy? So, for anybody who don't know, now you know, I'm the third Roland. So I'm a legacy name, born with the same name as my father and my grandfather, and plan on naming at least one of my sons, Roland the Fourth. Now, with that being said, I care about legacy because I grew up in a household where I carried, and I was the firstborn, I carried the name of somebody who is leading us. And, me and my dad, we had our disputes and all the casual stuff the oldest child probably had with their father. And then as I got older, I realized why he did what he did. But at the end of the day, so my dad, he was a teacher, football coach. He played college ball and semi-professional and stuff like that. But he was a high school coach and high school teacher. And, one thing I realized as I got older, before I got to high school and then when I left, is that he left a legacy on the group of kids he met. He told me stories about students. We grew up in areas where it's like they predominantly black and they didn't have, father figures and things of that nature, but they saw my dad as a father figure. He was that teacher. He was that cool teacher that all the students, went and chatted to and stuff like that. And my dad, he left a mark. Him and his best friend, Coach Rutherford, they left a mark on a lot of kids. And, growing up as a young kid, I didn't see much of that as like I thought that was normal. I was just like, oh, my dad's always like, he's in my life. And he would always say, like, no, a lot of these kids don't have fathers in their lives. And as I got older, I saw that, like, some of my closest friends, or most, they have no father in their lives. And my dad was like that for a lot of those kids. And, like, every time I post, happy birthday on my dad's birthday, a lot of those older students who follow me on socials, they'll be like, oh, happy Coach Williams, happy birthday Coach Williams, because he left that big of a mark on them. Some kids played in the NFL, NBA, like, they remember my dad from high school. So, this is my dad, obviously, before social media time, and that's his version of the platform where he left a mark on the group, hundreds of kids that was immediate through his school. And me, I'm ambitious, like as a legacy kid, you want to be bigger than the last. And I'm just like, seeing that mark and seeing how social media can change so many people's lives, like, in my head, I'm like, I want to be like that. So everybody remembers Michael Jackson died, right? One of the biggest names in history. When he died, like, I remember where I was going to a baseball practice and stuff like that. And, Michael Jackson they had just announced that he had died, more than a decade ago. And, when he had died, everyone kind of just like stopped, because everyone's like, oh my God, like, the king of pop just died. Like, he left such a huge impact. And in my head, I'm like, how do you leave an impact on you? You don't know him personally. Like, how did somebody you've never met in person, a person that's never touched you, spoken to you, leave that big of an impact? That's legacy. What he does outside of what he does directly to you still affects you, like, affects them. And, he left such an impact that they put this dude's funeral on TV. Like, they filmed it like a live event. And that was my first time ever seeing it. The Queen Elizabeth, her death, if I'm not mistaken, was a live event as well. And it's just like, seeing this person's death be filmed and people are like reacting to it as if they knew him personally, it just blew my mind. And I'm just like, I want to be that impactful. I want, like, when my death comes around, like, I want the people around me to feel some type of way, and in a good way, like, oh, he left the impact on me. Because I've also seen I've seen the same funerals where no one's there. You telling me you lived your whole life, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and you left nothing. Nobody's there to mourn you. No one's there to appreciate your life you live, because you are guaranteed death. You are guaranteed to die. So what you do after you're born up until the day you die is what people will see when your funeral comes around. Are people going to be there for you? Is someone going to say, this person's up? Because they'll eventually, in a way, get over you. I know celebrities, we remind ourselves every, year, the anniversary of their death. But for the most part, people kind of forget. But you leave an impact so hard that, like, it becomes harder to do that. That's the point, and that's what I want. That's a purposeful thing for me, because you never know who you come across and change their lives. You just never know. And for me, I take my shades off. I want them to fall off. For me, it's one of those things where, I want to leave such legacy so bad, because I was a college athlete. I see a lot of dudes, a lot of homeboys, and started small, but this is why I got to this point with the platform, where it's a lot of people that don't know what to do. And man, it don't cost nothing to just help somebody. And people thinking helping somebody means giving you something. They don't learn nothing. Like, the saying where it's like, if you got a man, don't give him the fish, teach him how to fish. That's how I want to be. I want to be able to teach you how to get to a point like this where you have the clarity in your mind. You know exactly who you are. You know exactly what you want to do. And there's no question behind it. And now you can help the people around you. It's a collateral effect. It's like infectious, And again, I'm the third. My dad has left the impact. I know there's going to be people that's going to mourn him when his day comes. And who am I to live this life and do less than that? And I carry his name. Because that's just not, that's not acceptable. Not my standard. That's not acceptable. And I just believe truly that goal, which is a mountain that you only will get to when you know you're dead. So it's like some people reach mountains and they're like, oh, what do I do next? I don't know what to do. And then they just strive for something. I think that my mindset of having that mountain is something I will never be able to reach until I die. So even if I'm thinking I just keep trying for it. Like, even when I think about the top, no, keep striving for it, keep striving, keep impressing more people, keep leaving an impact on people, keep going. And then when I die, I can lay my head at rest, because there are people crying over me saying like, wow, like Roland did this for me. And it could be the people on my YouTube page, it could be y'all, leaving an impact on y'all. Anybody who's got questions on college, pets, or any of the topics I talk about. That's why I do these why segments, because you might have the same question. And I might leave an impact on you. And then, 20, 30 years from now, if I'm still alive or if I'm dead, you can sit there and say, oh, I remember watching this video. I remember he taught me this. I remember he said that. So it's a beautiful thing, because, once it's all said and done, nothing you've done up here really matters. Like, you can have all the money in the world. You can't bring it with you. You can believe whatever religion you want. Only you know where you're going to be after the end. But it's like, your legacy is like the ghost that never left. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're still talked about. They leave a monument of you. Like that's how you live on. Like, if people be like, oh, how do I live forever? How to be immortal? Well, your name's immortal. There's really a statue of you. There's literally plaques with your name on. When people walk on the street, they gonna say, who is this? And not, you just got reminded of everyone in that vicinity, who you are, what you did. It's internal. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Man or woman, like, that's beautiful to be able to say that, people can't forget about you in a non-toxic way, And yeah, man, like, why do I care so much about legacy? I'm the third, and who am I to live this life and not carry the flame that was bestowed upon me from my father and my grandfather, and just be a person that is forgettable? I can't do that. I want to be unforgettable. And I don't know what it'll take to do it, but I know doing something every single day is going to get closer to it. That's all I know.